trying to get you there. All right, then, enter! You're the interviewer. You're not what I expected. I always expect an interviewer to look bookish. You don't look bookish. In fact, you look rather distinguished, like a Jewish Clark Gable. I will ask the first question. In fact, why don't I just ask all the questions I think you should ask me? You know, there's a question I've been wanting to ask myself my whole life. Maybe now is the time to ask it. What's the question? Well, of course you'd want to know. Well, why should I do your work for you? You know, is my friend Sam Levine. He's in the Merchant with me. Sam, a couple of weeks ago, he's planning a trip to Israel. He's going to be there for 2 weeks. So we're driving down Broadway in his new Lincoln Continental. We pull over 44th and 8th, the Chase Manhattan Bank. We go into the bank. Sam says to the teller, "How much interest for a $5,000 loan for 2 weeks?" The teller said, "Mr. Levine, $20 interest." Sam said, "Give me the loan." The teller said, "But Mr. Levine, what have you got for collateral?" Sam pointed to the new $50,000 Lincoln Continental parked outside. Well, of course, they took in the car. They gave him the loan. Sam went to Israel. I said to him before he left, I said, "Sam, why would you put up a $50,000 car against a $5,000 loan?" He said, "Where else could I park my car in New York City for 2 weeks for $20? Smart! Smart! My mother used to dress me in a velvet suit and take me to the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And I would copy the great masters. Then, when I was 9 years old, I painted a picture of my father. I showed it to my mother. She said, "Look, he's 9 years old. He paints like a man." And then when I was 20, I did an abstract. I showed it to my mother. She said, "Look, he's 20 years old. He paints like a child." You see, my mother always understood this need, this compulsion to paint. But never my father. My father said it was against our religion to create a graven image. But it's not a graven image, Papa. It's art. And art is life. Robbins gave that committee the names of my friends. And the thing about Robbins, he was never committed to communism or social action. He'd never read Marx or Lenin. He couldn't understand dialectical materialism, much less have a conversation about it. He was a self-centered son of a bitch. Brilliant, but self-centered. In 1943, he got out of the army by telling the world he was a homosexual. And in 1953, he gave names to the committee so the world would not find out he was a homosexual. I guess morality is a matter of timing. October 15th, 1955. I walked into that hearing room. There was stark white lights everywhere. There were television cameras everywhere, and I thought, how wonderful. It's the first time I've been on television in years. Now, if I was not at the meeting, how can I tell you who was at the meeting? Why don't you ask Mr. Berkeley?
Mr. Mustell, hostile witness.
I'm not!
Sorry.
I'm not being a hostile witness. I swear to you, I didn't get to Hollywood until 1942. Did you ever see Du Barry Was a Lady?
I did.
You did? You're the one. Joyce can't be read. Joyce has to be spoken out loud, and during rehearsals, I would get so caught up in the language and the text of James Joyce, and I would start screaming out the lines at the top of my lungs, and that little tenement would shake to its very foundations, and Buzz Meredith would say, "Hold on to your tits, everybody! It's 0 hour!"